Maria Theon, the tale of the pious and the mad queen. Maria was born in 1734 amidst the splendor of the Lisbon palaces. She was a princess with a deeply religious heart and a gentle spirit, but her early years were spent under the shadow of one powerful man, the Marquis of Pombal. Pombal, the powerful prime minister of her father, Joseph I, ruled Portugal with an iron fist. He rebuilt Lisbon after the great earthquake, expelled the Jesuits, and ruthlessly suppressed any opposition. Maria witnessed this tyranny and dreamed of the day she could restore justice and tranquility to the nation. She married her uncle Pedro, but her gaze was always fixed on a brighter future for Portugal. In February 1777, the bells chimed, King Joseph died, and Maria, at the age of 42, was crowned as Maria I, the first queen regnant of Portugal. Her first and most crucial decree, joyfully hailed by the people as the Viragem, the turning point, was immediate. The Marquis of Pombal shall be dismissed from all his posts and held accountable for his actions. Pombal was exiled. Many of his political prisoners were freed, and the era of dictatorship ended. Maria, who earned the title Maria the Pious for her deep religious devotion, steered the country toward moderation and more traditional policies. Her reign saw the development of scientific and cultural centers and the completion of magnificent structures like the Queluz Palace. Peace seemed to finally shine upon Portugal. However, the tranquility did not last. Starting in the 1790s, the world was engulfed by the French Revolution, and terrible news of the execution of European monarchs reached her. These events, coupled with the deaths of her husband and children, dealt a devastating blow to her spirit. Gradually, the Queen began to show signs of severe mental illness, acute depression, horrific paranoia attacks, and an inability to distinguish reality drove her away from governing. Renowned physicians were brought from Europe, but none could cure the Queen. Maria, the pious and kind Queen, was now tragically known as Maria the Mad, isolated in her palaces. By 1799, due to her condition, her son João, later João VI, had no choice but to accept the title of regent to manage the country's affairs on behalf of his incapacitated mother. The year 1807 brought the worst crisis for the Portuguese court. Napoleon Bonaparte, Emperor of France, decided to conquer Portugal. His army was approaching the borders. Regent João faced a terrifying choice: surrender or flee. João made his historic decision. He ordered the immediate gathering of all the court, the treasures, and vital documents. In an unprecedented operation, over 10,000 nobles, officials, and servants embarked on ships. In the chaotic rush of the Lisbon harbor, Queen Maria I, the Mad Queen, was carried onto a vessel. Lost in her world of delusions, she spent the massive transatlantic voyage confined to her cabin. They crossed the Atlantic, finally disembarking in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. For the first time in history, a European capital had been moved to the Americas. Maria, the Queen of Portugal, spent the final years of her life in self-imposed exile in Brazil, while her homeland was under foreign occupation. She passed away on March 20th, 1816, in Rio. She was the only reigning European monarch to die on the American continent, a bitter end for a queen whose reign began with hope and the end of tyranny, but ultimately concluded in the darkness of madness and displacement.